All right, guys, welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's get to this. This is gonna be a quick video, guys, as I got my kids running around upstairs or outside now. Actually, I put together the playbook and I told them I'd be up there in a little bit. So, make this quick. We're gonna just do what we normally do, showcase projections here. We'll also go through our playbook. I got that both tabs open here for you guys. I just put the playbook in for the early slate. We can break it down very quick. I did put a lot of green pitchers as I really like these guys. They're kind of owned because you need two pitchers on DK as much, but like Springs is a clear number one. I think Lodell's number two. And I mean, if we look at DraftKings projections, we have the same page pretty much. Hawks coming up there on Detroit a little bit more now, from my initial projections. Steele, I like. Martin Perez, I like. Cody, he's just priced up, is why a lot of projections have him down. So this is probably sorted by projection. So this gives him a bad point per dollar. But I mean, I got him up here pretty decent. Like, I like him. I mean, he's going to get you some lower ownership. Where's his ownership? Where the man? Sorry, my eyes have been really messed up lately. Ownership. We did 30% own. He's showing, so I don't know. Maybe he's just not as projected well, but I got him a little higher than Saber does, and it looks like the industry has him a little higher too with Goldie's projection. This is the aggregate projection. This is Sheets projection, and this is SaberSim. So SaberSim and Sheets are about the same, as well. So you can see that's a little higher in the industry average, with the goalie projection. Another goalie one that stands out, maybe Lotto's a little pretty standard. Between SaberSim is down higher. Sheets actually has him lower, for what it's worth. And then the highest one, Springs. It's going to be hard to get around that against Oakland. But I mean, if you want to play the 7,100 Hawk, I don't mind that. I don't have him. He's right up there in the projections. He's like the next guy in. He's kind of in the middle pack. He's bumped up a little bit since I got him ranked, so maybe it's an option. I like Steele though at his price as well. So both these cheaper guys I kind of want to get in, but I also like the Texas stack. I show in the playbook as well as it's kind of like a Rangers is like a leverage stack a little bit, and they're kind of in the middle here in this middle zone that we like to target. So we got that going on for us. So yeah, this is the pitcher's outlook for the early slate, and if we want to look at hitters next, obviously the Rays are going to be the best projected, so a lot of their guys are projected way up there for sorting by projection. If you look at aggregate projection, you got some Philly guy. Trey Turner's the best, but like you still got a lot of these Rays up here, a lot of Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. So the Rays are going to be hitting the best stacks. But like if we're looking for some leverage stacks, I like to target the KC stack, which you see this lineups here. They're pretty low owned. Some of these guys down here in the bottom, so you can get a decent stack like Fran Mel 2,900, and they're priced accordingly. Some of these guys, but some of these other guys are going to be a little chalkier. We did talk about the if we go back to the playbook, Rangers and Giants. The Giants are one that's fallen here a little bit. They're higher up on FanDuel because they're cheaper, but like they're still affordable over here, and I don't mind them. The Tigers are crawling up a little bit on there for me. I didn't have them as a play, but I don't mind them. But we can go with the Giants again. They're coming in pretty low on some of these guys. They're pretty high actually on DraftKings. That's interesting. Industry average. Let's look at the industry. Yeah, the industry has them a lot lower than SaberSim has them high. So see, these are the differences you want to use these projection models for, guys. Like you want to use them to look at the different projection. Like if you're looking at the industry average, like you can see that a lot of these guys are coming in a lot lower than Saber has them. Saber has this guy 17, but like True and us, we have them lower than that, and you can kind of see the difference. So maybe some more of these guys will get flocked onto with less options today, and they have a higher run total. So that might be boosting it up a little bit for them. So maybe they're not as good as play because they. So you base it on you look at them. Well, they're kind of far down here, but if they're a leverage play, they're not bad. But if now they're getting ownership, they don't really become a top stack for me because they're down the list a little bit. So that's kind of how I utilize it a little bit more when I'm building my lineups. KC's still up there. I don't mind them. The Rays are going to project the best here in the early slate on DraftKings. I have the DraftKings pulled up, but I mean, we can go over FanDuel. It's pretty similar. I rated it all very similar today. Giants are just more cheaper there. You have some more cheaper pitching options because you don't need two pitchers over there. So that's why there's a little bit more leverage on these guys versus like, I'm just playing Springs Lotto. So the Rays are going to project pretty well. Industry has them a little bit lower, I'd say, than what Saber has some of these guys for by a mile, about 3-4%. What's up, guys? What up, Butt? Bongo Fiesta. I'm terrible with names, I know. 6 of you guys in here. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, just doing a little mini stream, showcasing the playbook today. I got it up for both slates. We're gonna go over the early slate right now. We're also doing game by game kind of. I don't usually do game by game. I just kind of go through what I like. I did say Texas, their run total is a little lower. Um, you know, they're facing who is pitching on the other team? Why can't I figure this out? Present Steele. Steele's a guy I like. So yeah, he's cheap, but I like him. But it doesn't mean he can't get hit. So if we're looking at pitchers or batters against them here, their ownership is very low. Seager, Garcia, this young guy, he's looked good and he's cheap. Like there's no reason this Texas stat can't do anything. Grossman's out hitting homers at 2,900. So they got this like cheap guy out here. You get on, steal some bases. Semion's pretty good. He's hitting a lot of homers this day. But you just look at their ownership, guys, and it's like, I don't know. So yeah, I like Hawk. I'm getting onto him more. I don't have him high in the playbook. He's middle of the pack, but he's projected up a little bit more. We went over pitchers to start. I don't know if you missed it, but he's kind of popping a little bit more now in the projection. See, Goldie's projection has Hawk down farther, but when you sort by projection, he's popping a little bit more. So, like I was sorting, I look at the industry averages and stuff like that around. So that's why I have Hawk down here a little bit lower. I don't have him as far down here as past these guys. So maybe that's a difference we want to look at when we're looking at our projections. So Hawk's up here now. Our industry is lower on him, completely lower on him. So he's not going to pop in projections on other sites as much. So he might be a guy you want to go to now as a $7,600 option $7,100 option over like a 7,600 steal that I liked in the playbook. I have steal rate in the playbook. But now maybe we want to switch to Hawk, being that he's got an industry average lower projection and less people be on him. So he's showing up at in like 14% versus like 30s. Like Steele's at 33. So definitely I like that option, Bongo. So welcome in, guys. We're doing a short video. I'm going real long on this early slate. I got a lot of good info. But yeah, KC and Texas are kind of two stacks I really like. Rays obviously are popping. The Mets are going to be another one popping. We haven't even got to Detroit yet. I know everyone's favorite stack, but I mean their ownership. They got guys that are low owned with some big bats, like Lindor at 8%. I like, even Nemo at 4. Like these guys can hit their leadoff batter. Like this guy could get like 5 at bats in this game. Like for 4,600, 4% ownership. It's a good play. So yeah, those guys are viable. I haven't really played much of this game. The weather's kind of average. I mean, it's coldest here probably, but it's pretty standard, like 50s and 60s across all the games. A little higher some places. But yeah, I mean, Sabres got these guys owned kind of high. I don't know. They're pretty pricey. A couple of the guys, Duvall's price is way up there, but he's been crushing the ball. So Mets 4th through 7 stack or add Escobar if you're feeling frisky. Yeah, I don't mind taking some of those back end stacks. Like they're a lot lower owned too. The four. You're still getting high ownership there. You get rid of these two first guys and you drop to like 6, 7. Cannon I really like at 5 even at 2%. Yeah, I like that. And Fam's always hit homers. These guys are affordable. These guys are really affordable in that mid range, and they're taking up spots that are they're tough positions to fill. So if we look at some of the tough spots this year, has been so far second base. You guys can all hear me pretty good, I'm guessing. Okay, good. I didn't even check that. I usually do a mic check. But like second base today, you got Brandon Lowe. But I mean, everyone plays this guy because there's no other options. Like that's why I said Semion's a viable option off him. You got McNeil and the Mets off that same game. And then besides that, I don't think any of you guys know half these guys in here. I mean, or Ario, look how bad he ranks down the list on projection, but he's there at spat and 7. But he's hit homers before, scored 30 points for people. But yeah, so much ownership is going to go to Brandon Lau, which I don't mind in your stack getting one of these guys like the Rangers or the Mets stack that I talked about. And then Royals, you got who's the Royals guy? I don't even think they got a second base option today. No, they don't. So you'd have to play some mini stack with them, maybe like correlate something like maybe like a mini Ranger stack with a 5-man Royals or something. I like that. I'm not going to build any lineups because I want to get over to the main slate real quick, guys. So ask any questions you got too. Giants. Yeah, I don't have them tagged. I did have them tagged actually as a Giants on here before, but like they're way down in the ranks on DK, but they were lower owned. They're getting ownership now, so I don't like that. So you got to. It's tricky with my playbook. Sometimes it's gets frustrating when I make the playbook and then things swap around a little bit from my initial grab. So we got to watch the Giant. Their totals up a little bit too. I like them because they were lower owned. I don't like them as much now. I didn't go over to Detroit, but I don't know. They got some bats that you can maybe play. They're very cheap. Like guys batting cleanup at 2,800. Just cheap spots you can get bats in there. But yeah. All right, guys, that's the breakdown for the early slate. Do we have any questions? 40% Brandon, isn't too much. Yeah, I'd go down to 25. I mean, yeah, he could be worth it too, but I don't, man, the Reds just suck so bad. I don't know. They don't even have a guy. I think their highest player, listen to this, the Red stat, this is funny. The Reds have a player that's not even on their team. And guess what? He's literally getting paid the fourth most on their team. He doesn't even play for him. He's been paid for years. So, all right, I want to go over to the late slate for you guys real quick and do the main slate. Okay, so let's do a breakdown quick with the playbook. I wrote some notes in here. The Angels and the Braves, I got as lower owned stacks. This has got a Coors game involved, so it's much easier to talk about. I really like Cole Irvin for pitcher as a leverage stack option and cheaper. He's a good value play. He projects just the same on DK as Montgomery. And really, like, he's not even getting the ownership as Montgomery. So, like, makes no sense. But Irving's a good play. Brito's all right. Dodgers are going to be a stack that's always good. Diamondbacks, they've been hitting actually decent. Like, they've been in games lately. I don't know what's different about them, but they're getting some runs sometimes. So they're projected up there today a little bit. So I don't. Yeah, the pitching does suck. So that's why I meant take these cheaper guys, Irving and Brito on the sites. Charlie Morton's projected the best, but I mean he's not even that great. That's why Syndergaard's kind of older. The Diamondbacks are projecting a little bit more. I usually don't tend to get on Coors, and I'm not gonna ever probably mark Coors on here. We should all know that this is a Coors game, Nationals and Rockies. So like obviously the Dodgers and the Braves are two teams that I want to play. They have big bats and upside. Blue Jays are a team that I've won a lot of money with in the past, but they've not really done that well. And the Cardinals I've been burning money with this year as well. So I didn't mark these two teams, but they're both probably viable today. Cardinals I don't mind. They I do like their bats, and we can look at some of it right now. But I mean, for looking at pitchers first, quick. I mean, you're going to see the projection. Let's see if we can find any Goldie projections that are off. Montgomery's actually coming in over Morton in the industry average, so Morton is projecting higher, mostly elsewhere. Lauer's another one that I marked in there too. St. Louis, they've been struggling a little bit hitting the ball, it seems. So today might be the day the Cardinals come way out and pop it. But yeah, they're lower owned. Some of these guys are lower owned. Irving, I really like. His ownership's popping a little bit, but he's super cheap on DK. He's a little bit better. There's a lot like 10%. He's like 10% on FanDuel. Obviously, no one's going to play him over there. And then Brito, another cheap guy that's serviceable. But Baltimore's hit pretty well, and so is the Yanks. So they have both power team. So this pitching sucks kind of. So you're just gonna have to, if you're MMEing, I just mix it up a little bit, basically. Like even the Brewers can hit, the Padres obviously gonna hit more. I mean, they have huge bats. Like there's no reason they can't hit the ball. They started coming alive a little bit more lately. So maybe you attack a combo like Irvin and Brito, just double cheap, and then pay up for some of these stacks. I might even play later tonight. I wasn't gonna do that because I got some things going on, but I might throw a stack in right now with the double cheap pitcher because it sounds really juicy talking about it, and then playing some of these Braves bats. Acuna, look at these 5K guys. I mean, they're just expensive to get in, but they got their lineup out already. It's pretty serviceable. And then you got Dodgers. They got a 5-run total as well. I usually don't look at totals too much. It's really about ownership. Like you can get JD Martinez at 4%. I mean, he's expensive, batting fit though, but he's got pop. I mean, Washington's the top stack, but they have less totals than Atlanta and Dodgers here. Colorado's got a decent total, and then you're right because you said Gomber's serviceable in that game. And Cardinals, Yanks, they're all about 4 total. So and then the Diamondbacks are another team we talked about. And the reason the Diamondbacks make a lot of sense as an industry average projection here as well is because they're going to come in a little lower owned and they're cheap. So they've got a lot of guys in 2K, 3K range, which you can make lineups. Like their fifth guy batting fifth is 3,000. Their cleanup hitters 3,900. Christian Walker, Gurriel used to hit homers for us for the Blue Jays. He's batting 3 at 3,900. You're getting guys in decent spots batting at and cheap stuff. And Noah Syndergaard has been giving up runs lately, so crazy. So 11 of you in here, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. I do have like and subscribe on the poster. It's pretty cool. I know. See that? Like and subscribe. Am I going the right way? Am I going the right way? No, I'm going the wrong way. Like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna have to jet here soon. The kids are doing well actually, so that's not too bad. I don't know why the background actually shows up on the bottom border. It's all good. Yeah, we got 4 likes. 11 of you in here. That means a few are missing. Thank you, Bongo, for all the comments today. Don't forget to share the video too on Twitter and stuff. I posted on our True DFS. So if you're not following our socials, follow the socials as well. Yeah, that's another. You're right, and the Dimebacks can get frisky. All right, so we can get some steals, and steals are good points, right? Steals are great points. So you made a good point there, Bongo. I really like that. 13 of you guys in here now. Hit the freaking like button. I'm gonna drink. It's Saturday. I'm giving away my playbook, not for free, but you guys can check it out right here on the site. It's available. It's got all the plays. It's got a little background in where I'm going with my plays, some leverage stacks, and you can just build lineups off that. Pull the playbook up, pull up your DK, and hand build some lineups just using the playbook. I did all the work for you. So I like using the optimizer, but what I'm showing you on the playbook is already from the optimizer. Like I went through and did all the stuff. So all the work is done right here. And I try not to give you too much stuff. Like this to me is too much. Like you kind of don't know where I'm gonna go. But like when you have these odd pitching slates, like just you want to mix it up a little bit, like you might want to mix in some of these guys more than you would on like a slate where you got like Garrett Cole is just like locked down right now. Just play him. Or like some of these other guys where we want to just lock in. I mean, we locked in Scherzer and Kershaw last night was a bust, my opinion. He just did terrible against these Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are frisky, so they're getting on base, they're getting steals, they're getting points. So that's why they project kind of high on our stacks page for later tonight. And if they're projected up there with a Coors game, that might be because they're cheap and they have some value to them. You can play some of these guys and get them in your lineups. So, any questions? I don't see any more questions, guys. 13 of you in here. Hit the like button on the way out. I think I covered anything. Bongo, did I miss anything being you're the only one commenting in the chat? I don't think I did. We do have all the projections here. I explained a lot in this video about the industry aggregate. So Goldie's projections, the aggregate projection, it's compiled by about 6 different sites. We're probably going to add a few more. And you can see differences in the site between SaberSim or TrueDFS. Looks like the True DFS sheets projections are True DFS projections, and goalies are goalies, and SaberSim. Looks like his night slate projections haven't hit yet. So they might have not been updated quite yet. It's early yet for the night slate to be updated anyway. So if we want to go back and just look at differences here, you just kind of look at differences, and then you can see Goldie's ownership too as an aggregate, which is really sweet. This ownership one is a sweet one, I'd say, the Goldie average. So I think we answered everything today, guys, and I hope I cleared it up, and I hope we went over the playbook pretty good. It's on the site, is available. So if you guys can see it all, my kids are just coming inside. I can hear them yelling, "Dad!" now as we speak. How do you get different sites uploaded? Oh, that's a tricky because we can pull data from all the sites. So like when you're on True DFS website, you guys can go over here. You can go to get the sheets, right? So everyone has access to the sheets. So anybody can come over here and grab our stuff. Like if they want sheets projections, they just come over here and they can download the CSVs. See this right here, Excel CSV. They just download the CSV. And did it show up? Hang on. And boom, share. And then I'm going to show you the CSV. So now this is a CSV. It shows all the salary, the players, the points, the totals, shows Sheets value score. So anybody, you and everybody can come get the Sheets value score right from here. You can take this to any optimizer you want and dump it in. And it will have this value in this category will now be in your thing. So it's just all a bunch of Excel macros that allow you to do those things and to aggregate projections. So everyone's projections available. So people can take our projections as well. It's all available to everyone, and you just put them all in a spreadsheet and then you aggregate them together. Some of the optimizers allow you to upload them and also aggregate them together too. Like we have different ownership, different projections on here. You can choose how it runs your site over here on SaberSim. Let me do that again. Actually, let me show you something. So yeah, you can actually do SaberSim like over here. You got different options you can pick, and then you can actually upload different files like right here to upload. So you can just go and upload it. So if Sheets isn't showing up in here and you want it, you just go grab it from over there and just hit upload in here and we can put it in. It's super simple. Like magic. Oh, Evan's in the chat. What's up, my guy? So yeah, I'm explaining a little bit of back of the round stuff, and then Evan's the big guy that runs all the behind the scenes stuff. Why things are popping in here easily? It's automated process that things when we update it in our spreadsheets, it updates on here and stuff. So he's a huge part of that. So welcome in. 14 of you guys, hit that like button, subscribe. We went over the slate already, so if you haven't seen it, we went over pictures, we went over the playbook, we went over everything. We went on how to aggregate projections. We went even on how to get them from the website even how to use Sheets value score. You can take it to other optimizers. If you don't like SaberSim, you can just copy the sheets and take them to Roto Grinders or Awesemo or whatever. I don't even know what some of those sites do. Fantasy Graphs or Fantasy Cruncher, whatever they are. You can just come in here, download his projections for the day, and move them over there and build lineups. It's super simple. So a lot of people do that. You can get our membership to get the sheets. It's all behind the paywall, but it's easy now that we have it where it populates all automatically in our SaberSim. So $69.99 a month, the cheapest package in the industry, guys. You can get that projection right here in your SaberSim account. You can build it easy. It's auto populates in. You get the playbook as well included in that. And we're off to the races. So it's magic, like Evan said in the chat. So welcome. You guys just got a tutorial on SaberSim, Sheets projections, aggregate projections, which are like 6 to 8 industries of like Roto Grinders, the Bad X, like all that is populated in this column and this column as well. It's pretty cool. It's very powerful. And it's a good measurement tool to see other industries and how it compares to SaberSim and how it compares to Sheets value score and his projection model. So, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And maybe there'll be a video tomorrow. I'll probably be the playbook for sure, and maybe a video in the morning. I don't know what time the slate is. I like today because the slate's at 4, so I was able to get the video done before, and I have a little bit of my day. So, as always, let's get it. And we're back. Let's get it.